Welcome to the Entrepreneurship Networking Program. Your host, Mila Jonathan Puku, and tonight we'll be talking about financial literacy and MSMEs. And to help us with this topic, we're joined by Mr. Elijah Kabaso, Investment Analyst at the African Life Financial Services. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, and I'm grateful for inviting me to the program. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We're really blessed to have you on this program. The fact that it's International Financial Literacy Week, so it was actually very prominent that you actually joined us and actually help individuals and also just the businesses out there, because obviously it's been a struggle when it comes to financial literacy in Zambia and actually the world. So I will just take a quick break and we'll get on with the interview.
There is no better business app than EquipApp Equipment. Download EquipApp Equipment off your Play Store, equipping you with services you rightly deserve.
To Entrepreneurship Networking Program. Like we said, we're talking about financial literacy and MSMEs, and we're joined by Mr. Kabaso, Investment Analyst at the African Financial Life Services, just to help us understand more about financial literacy for businesses and also for individuals. So we'll get right on it, sir. Please tell us a brief history about African Life Financial Services Limited.
Thank you, sir, for your question. African Life Financial Services is an asset manager in the country. We are currently the largest private fund manager with assets in excess of 8 billion kwacha. So we are the leading private fund manager in the country, and we have been in existence for more than 30 years as a brand. Yes, our services are normally, they spread over two main categories: institutional as well as retail offerings. Okay. On institutional, we have mostly pensions and gratuity. So people that are looking to save for retirement, not only with the NAPSA savings, but just occupational pensions, we do offer those services. And we also offer services to gratuity members, people that are on contract, 2-year, 3-year, 4-year contracts. So our services are mainly targeted in that avenue for institutional clients. With regard to retail clients, we also have offerings that enable working customers to be able to save for any purpose that they want, and these services are across a number of asset classes, as we will mention later in the program.
Okay.
But it enables people to essentially be able to just put away some money and let it grow over time under our management.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Now you're talking about saving schemes, pension schemes. This person who comes and says, maybe because of inflation, maybe I might not, by the time I'm getting the money, I might not have the purchasing power that that money would have maybe in a given 5 or 3 years. So maybe people rather maybe buy an asset, believing that to maybe appreciate, maybe let's say maybe land. So what would you say to people that are thinking that would say maybe saving scheme because of inflation, I might not have the money that I had maybe in the next 5 years?
Okay, a very good question. So amongst the things that we look out for, even as we're managing funds on behalf of individuals, is that we look at whatever is happening in the country and are able to position ourselves in a way that the money doesn't lose value over time. So inflation is amongst the things that we look at.
Okay.
Exchange rate as well is another thing that we look at. For inflation, we monitor how inflation is moving over time, and what we try to do is to invest in assets that will give us a return that's better than inflation. That even if a person is saving for a certain purpose in the next 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, the money will still have enough power to be able to afford them the ability to afford that thing that they're saving for. So inflation is something that we're very keep ourselves abreast of and ensure that we're able to grow money at a faster pace than inflation is moving over time.
All right, perfect. As Aflife, do you have a specific or selected industry? I know you spoke about retail and institutional. Maybe you can break it down for us in terms of the industries that you look at. Do you have specific or maybe 5 industries that you actually put much of your effort in offering your services?
Thank you. So our services are across all sectors.
Okay.
All sectors. We offer services to the banking sector, as I told you. We actually the managers for most of the banks in the country, and all their employees. So we do offer services to our colleagues in the banking sector. The mining sector is also amongst the key clients that we have. Or most of the mines that are around the country, we do offer services to their employees to be able to accord them the ability to be able to save over the years. Other sectors, even in retail, we have the likes of ShopRite and a number of other brands whose employees actually save with ourselves. So our offerings know no boundaries in terms of sectors that we can provide services to. They're pretty cut across all sectors in the country as we speak.
All right, perfect. Now, getting back to financial literacy. Obviously, as an investment analyst, you actually very pronounced when it comes to management of wealth and building wealth. Why do you think financial literacy is very important for SMEs and just the general citizenry?
Very good question. I was just attending the launch of the ABSA building today, of which the president mentioned something that's very important. He did mention that a way in which we can be able to alleviate poverty, especially in countries like Zambia, is wealth creation. Okay. We can't get rid of poverty by just giving handouts to people, but by according people the ability to be able to work for that money and be able to save so that the money grows in the economy. And so financial literacy is very important in that it accords people to be the ability and the knowledge to be able to know how to better manage their resources, better able to grow their resources and their wealth over time, and that at the end will be able to alleviate most of the problems that we have in the country of high debt and a number of other issues that we're facing at the moment.
Perfect. Well said. Okay, there's also an issue of financial discipline. Most people actually, from my side, why I think financial discipline actually doesn't have to do with financial literacy, because you'll find that people that are actually financially oriented, I find they're not disciplined, but they understand finances. So coming from you, the fact that you manage funds as a company, financial discipline is one thing I've noticed. A lot of businesses, individuals, even myself, would struggle, to struggle with. Ours Aflife, through some of his services, help businesses and individuals to achieve it or manage to actually have this discipline to manage their wealth?
Okay, thank you for that question. So in terms of financial discipline, yes, people are not as disciplined as they need to be, and it does filter through into how people actually make lifestyle choices.
Okay.
People have to be, firstly, I think that the major thing is to be able to have people live within their means, because if you live outside your means, then you're accumulating debt to finance your lifestyle.
Okay.
So you really need to be disciplined in that you have to be able to just look at your resources, look at what you're earning, and be able to live below those means. Because only after you're able to live below those means will you be able to have a little money to set aside and have that money grow over time. So I think that's the major thing, living within your means, and then now looking for avenues in which you can grow the excess money that you have saved to be able to grow over time. And that's where maybe financial advisors come in, like myself, as well as a few other colleagues at my company, to be able to do that. In terms of what AFLife is doing, so yes, we do sensitize members. I think I have a few colleagues, even at the office, that have traveled all the way to Solwezi to just, bring awareness to the importance of financial literacy to the citizenry and ensure that they're able to save over time. And I think a major policy that we have at the company, African Life Financial Services, is that all employees are part of a pension scheme that we manage ourselves. Okay. Every month we set aside a portion of that income to be able to save for the years to come. So I think those are the major things that AFLife has done. Firstly, to bring about awareness by going out into the country and remote areas of the country, and secondly, also just instilling those principles and values in the employees that work at the company.
Perfect. Because one thing I've always known, and what I actually tell myself, and maybe some of my colleagues, is that money is bears offsprings. It's meant to produce. You know what I mean? And Warren Buffett once said that, you save before you spend.
Yes.
But most of us actually spend, and what remains and says, let me save. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But then the excess, like you said, you actually invest it elsewhere so that you actually have your money to grow. So I'll just take a quick break and we'll be back shortly.
There is no better business app than EquipApp Equipment. Download EquipApp Equipment off your Play Store, equipping you with services you rightly deserve.
Welcome back to the Entrepreneurship Networking Program. We have your host, Mr. Jonathan Puku, and we have Mr. Kabaso, investment analyst for African Life Financial Services, helping us a lot about financial literacy. So I'll just get into it. We spoke about institutional and retail. I wanted to find out, maybe you can drill down on the retail. What kind of services is AFLife actually providing?
Okay, thank you, Jonathan. So in terms of products that we offer to retail clients, we have what's called the Mpila Unit Trust. It is a collective investment scheme. So how it works is that people come together, they contribute a little money and into a fund that's able to invest in certain assets. We have a wide variety of unit trusts or kinds of products within the Mpila Unit Trust, and what really drives which kinds of products people invest in is understanding their risk tolerance and their needs, and for how long they plan to invest for. So amongst the products that we have is Mpile Money Market Fund, which would ideally be the lowest risky investment asset class. The return is fairly lower than all other products, but it gives you stable returns over a long period of time. Other products are the Mpile Local Equity Fund, which allows investors to be able to invest in shares that are listed on the LUCE. You know, it might be very hard for a person to walk to a broker and buy the kinds of shares that they need to buy, but the unit trust, the Mpile Local Equity Fund, actually allows investors to be able to have access to a wide variety of equities that are listed on the Lusaka Securities Exchange.
Okay.
Other products are the Mpile Property Fund. As you know, buying a plot alone is quite expensive.
Yes.
And owning a fully established property is quite expensive for a retail client. But the Mpile Property Fund, which is currently currently open, allows investors to be able to own a part of a mall, for example, or a property that's already structured and earning rentals.
Yes.
And once you do subscribe, you'll be able to benefit from all that comes through in terms of rentals as well as the appreciation of the price over years. Other products, I think, about the only fund manager in the country that's offering this product is the Mpile Offshore Equity Fund.
Okay.
It allows investors such as yourself and myself to be able to own shares in companies like Microsoft, Facebook, and a number of other companies outside the country.
Okay.
And then obviously we also have unit trusts, a unit trust such as the Mpile High Debt Fund, which allows investors to be able to invest in debt securities issued by either corporate companies within the country as well as government bonds that are issued. And I think that the major thing that all these products try to offer to customers is the ability to be able to invest and liquidate within a short period of time and with ease, something that you may not be able to achieve if you're able to actually buy the property and then think of selling 2 or 3 years later. Okay. So these products are mainly just designed to make investments more affordable for most investors and citizens within the country, and also just the flexibility of being able to invest little by little over periods of time. And you always have professionals like myself as well as my team at the office to advise you on the best kinds of investments that you can make.
Wow, perfect. I like the fact that, as an entrepreneur, actually diversification is very important. And I like that Aflife has done. It has invested its services in different streams of business. You talked about equity, people buying shares. And I think that's one thing that most Zambians have noticed that haven't gone into. There are most people that own maybe a shop, they don't know about shares, but actually they can actually own shares. You talked about properties. I like the fact that you've actually embraced all different streams of businesses as Aflife, and I think that's what financial literacy is about. It's about building your wealth in different streams. So I think we appreciate that note that Aflife is actually doing. But remember, we had also agricultural commercial show, and the theme was innovation through technology. Right now, business you can't do without technology. You need to actually fast track your business. So how has technology helped Aflife to implement some of its objectives?
Thank you. Thank you for that question, Jonathan. We do embrace technology, or not only in processes that we have at the company, but even in terms of where we invest. So I'll just take a step back and maybe just appreciate the fact that technology is what will drive us going forward. And because of that, it's something that we have to embrace so that we are not left behind as investors, as a company, and even as a country at large. And because of that, if you are looking to invest, for example, in any unit trust, you will be contacted by someone that's using technology. Once you do invest with ourselves, we have systems at the company that are able to help us keep track of your worth. And these are fund management systems that we have invested in to ensure that they help us with regard to our operations and just ensuring that your records as an investor are maintained in the best way possible. We also, for those that have invested in the Imperial Unit Trust, for example, we also send out retail statements every month. So it's like a bank statement that you receive every month, just showing you how your funds have grown over the month.
Okay.
And these are sent by email, and obviously you can always get in touch with us on any queries that you have, and ensure that we're able to address to your queries. So technology is really a way of life, and it's something that without it we wouldn't even function as a business. Okay. So technology is something that we continue to use and invest in, and ensure that it brings benefits for the years to come. And on the other side, obviously, we are also investors. So amongst all the kinds of investments that we have, obviously, the banking sector, having shares in companies like Zanaco or Stanchart that are listed on the LUCE. We also have shares in other companies, private equity investments in companies such as MTN on behalf of our clients, obviously. And that allows us to be able to just also be the drivers of technological advancements by the companies that have invested in both Airtel as well as MTN. So those are, I think that's in a nutshell. We would say that technology is very dear to AFLife. It's very dear to us growing over the years, and we want to have it tied to our hip to ensure that we're able to grow over the years.
Perfect. You heard, viewers, financial literacy, very important as you manage your business. As you heard from Mr. Kabaso, investment analyst, he actually has said a lot about investment. Saving is very important, but you need to build your wealth. You can save, but also have that income that is in excess that you can actually put in different revenue streams. So it's very, very important that you actually get to do that so that you can build your wealth with time. I just want to thank you, Mr. Kabaso, for actually joining us, and I think the SMEs have learned a lot. I've learned a lot as well, and I hope to see you again.
Thank you, Jonathan, and I'll be looking forward to any invite that you have for us.
All right. Thank you, viewers, and happy International Financial Literacy Week. Good night.
There is no better business app than Equip App Equipment. Download Equip App Equipment off your Play Store, equipping you with services you rightly deserve.